Hi, Rupak. Thank you so much for taking out the time and coming here.
Hello.
How do you help a student rebuild confidence once fear has already set in? Like I told you, I want to listen that answer for my own self.
First of all, we need to understand that when they are bored, then the creativity arises and they will be doing good in maths. It's a psychological fact actually. You can go on a walk with them. When you go on a walk with them, you talk with number sense. Go. After this building, you see this building, देखो 90 degree. अगला बता क्या आएगा 17. 17 तेरे को पता है कैसे नंबर होता है? I have never seen a case in which two trains are approaching together. Rahul is buying how many watermelons? 52 watermelons. What is going to do with it? Where is the real sense? बच्चों को लगता है कि हमें कॉमन सेंस बाहर छोड़ देना है जब भी मैथ्स क्लास में आना है. Someone who is smart will always have a backup.
Right.
You never know what can happen in your life.
Absolutely.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
So I think when you're too rigid, there's a part of the society which would say that your focus has to be so strong. You know, you just like hit the target, hit the bullseye, and then
Motivation reels
Yes.
and all.
you know, you always move forward with a great vision, but also a backup in life.
You are a living example, Happy, right? You have so many side hustles going on. It's just so beautiful. I love kids. So this is my take from this, that don't be too much obsessed about something. Always have a backup. You will thank me someday.
There's one person in every child's life who decides whether they will fear numbers or feel powerful because of them. And most of us met that person in a maths class. Welcome to Goenka Alpha Edge podcast by GD Goenka Mohali. Hi, I'm Harman Sidhu, Academic Director and Head of Communications at the school. Today we have someone with us who doesn't just teach mathematics but changes the way children think, solve, see themselves through it. Because maths was never meant to be scary. It was meant to build logic, confidence, patience, and problem solving for life. And the way a teacher introduces numbers often decides how a child introduces themselves to challenges. Let's talk about learning, fear, confidence, and the real role of a maths teacher in shaping young minds. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, Rupak. Thank you so much for taking out the time and coming here. We are at Goenka Alpha Edge podcast, and I'm so happy and excited to welcome you all in this conversation with Rupak.
Hello.
So, Rupak, we'll just jump in straight. And I have the first question that I think every parent on earth wants to know, no matter which country they live in. Maths is often the most feared subject in at least Indian homes. Sometimes even more parents than children, you know, they're more worried about maths than the child itself. Why do you think that fear exists, and what do you do differently so students don't grow up scared of maths?
See, in our country, what happens, it is taken as an excellent subject. Like, if you are good at it, then only you're excellent.
True.
Like, it is a defining factor in our education.
Absolutely.
And when a child gets to know if I'm good at it, then only I am a good student, right? First thing, this is the reason for the fear. Second thing, there's a recent study that I read that 70% of the students are skipping. They don't want maths after 10th. That means somewhere down the lane, there's a fear, right? And what the parents are doing and why they are also scared is when these students reach home, these parents, our parents, they sometimes say, मेरे को maths नहीं आता बेटा, मैं help नहीं कर पाऊंगा, right? Maybe you may have done this, right? In the past, many of us do it. So whenever we say such statements, what does that do to the mind of the child is, उसको believe हो जाता है यार पापा को नहीं आता, मम्मी को नहीं आता, मेरे को कैसे आएगा? तो parents need to realize कि आप उसके साथ learner बनिए. आप उसको ये बोलिए, okay, मेरे को भी नहीं आता, चल साथ में figure out करते हैं.
That's such a beautiful
Right?
way to actually put it.
Yes, take it as an opportunity, right? That अब आपके अंदर कोई स्ट्रिक्ट टीचर नहीं है तो आप इसको अपना अडल्ट प्रोजेक्ट बना लें कि मैं भी अब मैथ सीखता हूँ फ्री ऑफ टेंशन, ओके, राइट? नाउ व्हाट आई डू इन क्लासरूम टू रिमूव दैट फियर इज आई यूज Vedic maths make them fall in love with maths if there is an easier way out. Second thing what I do is I make them realize that mistakes are okay. I have this method in classrooms. What I do, I choose mistake of the day. Like if they are doing mistakes, it's okay. and I take that mistake and I put, okay, this is the mistake of the day. Then they realize that mistakes are also appreciated. And I tell them this scientific fact, which is actually a fact, कि जब आप mistake करते हैं, there is some kind of a synapses spark in the brain. और अगर आप normally solve करते हैं तो कुछ change नहीं आता है. The mistakes पे there are pathways being formed. So when they realize कि मेरे thoughts count हो रहे हैं, mistakes matter, they are not scared of it anymore. So this is what I do.
That is so wonderful, which also takes me sort of back to the time when I was studying maths. I used to keep saying I'm not good at maths. And now when I trace back, we had this teacher, she used to just make this fist and just give a call in the back. And it's like it stayed with me till today. Like if I remember it till today and we're talking about it, can you imagine the kind of trauma it must have put a child through? Number one, obviously that physical assault. And secondly, maths. You don't start hating the subject because you don't understand the subject. You sometimes start hating the subject because you don't like the way the teacher was and the way it was taught. So sometimes you love the teacher so much that you end up loving the subject also so much.
This is my main mantra.
Yes, I love the way you put it, and it's something that I think every parent should take away from this first very question only, that if your child says that, I'm not good at it, and you also have this thing that I'm not good at it, then maybe you do it together as a project.
It's going to amplify the problem.
Absolutely.
It's going to amplify the problem.
I love it. So I was going to ask you this next. Well, when a child says maths is not for me, what do you think has already gone wrong, and how do you help a student rebuild confidence once fear has already set in? Like I told you, I want to listen to that answer for my own self. I always say maths is not for me.
First of all, we need to understand that this education is a tricycle. Like the student is at the front one, the tire, the parents are the side, and we are the side. If either one of us are putting in these ideas or talking about that maths tough ही होता है, ठीक है, एंड तेरे को बाद में ना इंजीनियर बनना है, डॉक्टर बनना है, उसको पहले ही पता चलेगा कि भाई आई हैव टू लाइक डू कैलकुलेशंस एंड ऑल, तो उसकी क्रिएटिविटी इज डेड देयर ओनली. We need to understand as a parent and as an educator also that all doctors and these engineers are not happy. If an athlete is there, okay, I'm talking about maths fear is okay, but you need to understand maths is not everything. Okay, an athlete doesn't need maths that much. A musician doesn't need that much maths. If I am like a cricketer, I don't need maths. We need to understand that. And why this fear is coming up, 6th, 7th tak, they are only doing understanding. Okay. Then what happens? The teacher enter in the class. You may have also seen. He writes on the board, children copy and then repeat at home. Now, बच्चे को पता चल गया मेरा thought तो कहीं पे है ही नहीं. It is not student centered. It is teacher centered.
Yes.
Traditional approach.
Absolutely.
Right. We need to make sure that it is student centered. Right. We give them activities like those, the ones in which they are also involved. Right. And when we go home, when these children go home, the parents need to make sure that they are bored. Okay. They are not always on the cell phone or always they are regulating emotions through something else through this. Because when they are bored, then the creativity arises and they will be doing good in maths. It's a psychological fact actually.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So they can provide some tangible things. Like they can provide Rubik cubes. You can go on a walk with them. When you go on a walk with them, you talk with number sense. Like, beta, dekho, after this building, you see this building, dekho 90 degree. Okay. Do you say makan number 16, अगला बता क्या आएगा 17. 17 तेरे को पता है कैसे नंबर होता है? किसी से डिवाइड नहीं होता, 1 और 17 से होता है. प्राइम नंबर है बेटा. Right? So ऐसे you talk instead of being on the cell phone itself.
Maths a part of your life and you
Yes.
facts.
Yes.
So in your real life, you observe maths and you talk about maths.
The very good point that you said was you make it real life based. I've never seen an example. I've never seen a case in which two trains are approaching together. You will find such questions in the NCERT books. Two trains are approaching. Where is the real sense? Rahul is buying how many watermelons? 52 watermelons. What is going to do with it? Where is the real sense? बच्चों को लगता है कि हमें कॉमन सेंस बाहर छोड़ देना है जब भी मैथ्स क्लास में आना है. राइट. देयर इज अ मैथ लैंड जहाँ पे सेंस नहीं बनता है. राइट. सो जैसे देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन आई वाज टीचिंग फ्यू डेज बैक, लाइक द कॉस्ट ऑफ 1/4 slice of a pizza is this. Okay. What is the cost of 20 pizzas? Now, in real life, don't we have bulk mein discount? We have. वो सब हम कंसिडर नहीं करते. We real life sense is not coming in the classes. If we can relate maths with the real life, students will understand कि मेरा use होता है यार, maths मुझे करना चाहिए. Learning is important. But right now they know it's just for the marks, and that's why the fear is there.
True. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that you start to live maths.
Yeah, you start to, like me, I'm living maths.
True. In your experience, how much do parental pressures, like you already said, and comparisons contribute to a child's struggle with maths, and what should parents stop doing at home? As a psychologist myself also, I feel like the pressure is very real, and it doesn't come from a place where you want to bother your child, but it comes from a place where you yourself have not done well in a subject. तो वो आपने खुद तो कभी अच्छा किया नहीं होता, अब आपको वो प्रेशर अपने बच्चे पे डालना है because you want the child to do well, and because you've never scored in maths, you want your child to score in maths. So that pressure, how does it transforms in the class to the child? Have you seen or experienced children coming with a lot of pressure about maths that they're not open to learning?
See, I was attending PTM a couple of weeks back. So there was a parent. What he did, like उसका जो बड़ा लड़का है, तो वो he is good in maths. He scored well. Her daughter didn't score well. Okay, she is in 7th grade. But then he was scolding me. Even when she did score well according to me. 100 में से 80 is a good score. Even then, he scolded her in front of me. इसके भी तो 100 में से 100 आए हैं. Don't we have different brains? Don't we have different skills? क्या पता वो बच्ची जो है something entrepreneur बनती, fashion में जाती, right? But you have predetermined that अगर ये अच्छा है तो she should be great also. What does comparison does कि बच्चे को पता चल जाता है it's a race और मुझे रेस में दौड़ना है, and फिर वो उसको hassle में पड़ता है, जल्दी में नहीं पड़ता है हमेशा, उसको enjoy करके नहीं पड़ेगा. अगर learning is not enjoyable ना, so there will be no good output. And we are creating those pressures at home. शर्मा जी का लड़का वाला famous शर्मा जी का लड़का ने ऐसा स्कोर किया.
Right. We have a lot of Sharma ji ka ladka listening to this podcast. I bet you on that. So I'm going to talk about your life a little. You almost made it to Air Force. A life of structure, discipline, and physical strength, unless an injury changed your path. How did that transition shape you emotionally, and what lessons stayed with you when you entered into teaching? So of course, I've gone through your profile and I know a little bit about you. It must have been like, what made you think that I'm an A teacher and let's do this now?
I get this question in my classes also because my students are also on social media. Sir, आपने Air Force क्यों छोड़ दिया and all?
Right.
So God had some different plans. So while playing volleyball, I got a back injury. So they gave me some time, but I didn't recover. So I'm going to share the story first. I'm going to come to the answer, like what is it, why I chose it. So I came back from the academy. I went directly to my brother's place instead of going to my mom. I was so depressed about it. कि यार मैं अब क्या करूँगा? I put everything into it, right? So I went to my brother's place. I was so depressed. I had psychologists and all. I went to counseling and all. For 1 year, I used to sit in the rooms. I used to do Om Namah Shivaya chanting and all. I raised my aura from the dark energy to the pure energy. Then I realized what can be done different. So I realized, okay, what if I do it from the within instead of the border? Yes. So I was teaching in my institute way back. So I gave in B.Ed entrance. I got a good rank. So I went into the teaching then. Then I realized, okay, teaching, अगर मैं teaching में change ला सकता हूँ, तो country में ज़्यादा अच्छा change आएगा. Because my own kids will be there in the part of the society. I want that society to be good. It is selfish on my part, but it is what I want to do. I believe what I all learned from all these experiences, मैं बच्चों से especially बोलना चाहूँगा ना parents से, कि I'm going to hurt a lot of feelings through this, I don't know, maybe, that passion is everything. Don't be passionate about something, I will say. Because an educated fool is passionate. Someone who is smart will always have a backup.
Right.
You never know what can happen in your life.
Absolutely.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I was very grateful to God that I had been teaching my friends. I was teaching my friends and somewhere else online also while I was doing Air Force thing. Sure. So I made it into a profession, which I tend to like now because it is so beautiful. I love kids. So this is my take from this, that don't be too much obsessed about something. always have a backup. You will thank me someday.
True. My personal life experience also, I think when you're too rigid, there's a part of the society which would say that your focus has to be so strong. You just like hit the target, hit the bullseye, and then
Motivation reels
Yes.
and
don't
all.
look anywhere at all. So I was one of those people who were trained like that to just keep that focus straight. It makes you very rigid and it makes you a very difficult person, and you can't adjust well in society as a person because you're so you want things your way. It was only my husband who taught me that you always move forward with a great vision, but also a backup in life,
Definitely.
and you let life happen. You also let life
Life
guide-
flow.
Yes, you let life flow through you.
Don't bound yourself to one thing only, right?
I think that was the changing point.
You are a living example, Happy, right? You have so many side hustles going on.
So from teaching to content creation was something I never ever even in my entire family, nobody would have ever thought that she turned into a content creator. And that is when I had learned that you let life, take the lead and then you just follow along. So that was such a nice insight. Okay, so the next question for you is, do you think today's children lack discipline or they lack the right kind of guidance? How do you balance structure with empathy as a teacher?
See, I will not say that all are indisciplined. Some are indisciplined, yes. But what is going on right now, let's understand. Yes, okay. So what happens usually कि घर पे पहले मैं बात करूँगा फिर क्लास में also I will give an example. घर पे क्या हो रहा है कि बच्चे को आप अटेंशन नहीं दे रहे हो. Throughout the day you are with your work, I know. आपने उसको अटेंशन नहीं दिया, लेकिन जैसे ही उसने कुछ गलत किया सारा अटेंशन उसके पास आ गया. बेटा तूने ये कैसे किया? Why did you this? This is my pervish. Right? We say all these things. लेकिन बच्चे को रियलाइज हो गया कि जब आप ऐसा करेंगे तो तभी मेरे को अटेंशन मिलेगा, 100% अटेंशन. इट बिकम्स अ बिहेवियर मैकेनिज्म. ही लर्न्स समथिंग कि मेरे को गलती करना है. यस, दैट आइडिया इनटू हिम. सेम इन द क्लासरूम. हम टीचर्स को, सम ऑफ अस टीचर्स, आई नो आई एम गोना हर्ट सेंटिमेंट्स अगेन, दैट वी डोंट इवन रिकॉल द नेम्स ऑफ चिल्ड्रन. Even I tend to always I ask, beta, whenever you answer, you could call the name because I want to know your name.
Yes.
Teacher should always call out the name of the child,
Absolutely.
right? But अगर वो कुछ अच्छा कर रहा है, we rarely praise. लेकिन कुछ कैसे गलत होता है, we bound, okay, your name I'm going to tell, right? So उससे पता चल के जब मैं गलत करता हूँ, जब भी सर में ही सुनते हैं, वरना तो मेरा नाम भी नहीं पता सबको, right? तो he will do it again, he will do it again, और फिर हम उसे क्या बोल देते हैं? Indiscipline हो रहा है. We need to not teach them how to obey. We need to tell them how to regulate emotions, because this is coming out as an indiscipline.
True. Listening to you, Rupak, it just makes me feel that we've come a long way in education and as educators, because back then when we were studying, the teachers didn't care about how the child would feel or how my particular action or my behavior in the class or me, for example, not taking name of the child, how it would impact the child. Today, as an educator, you sit there and you say that it's very important for me to know every child's name, and it's very important for me to know that what kind of behavior am I reinforcing. So I think as educators also, we've come a long way. So much.
I believe I had last week only I got an example. I do observations very good, but I also make mistakes. So very bad mistake that I did was, like, there was a child, I will not name her, but she was a very good kid. She is a very good kid. Now what happened, she used to always submit the work on time, and you always used to praise. One day she didn't submit the work. Again, next day also she didn't submit the work. I scolded her. Beta, why are you not doing it? You are a brilliant kid and all. Sir, I know you are disappointed in me. I will do better. I will do better. Okay, sir. There's something I will do better. There's something I will do better. I heard her, but I didn't listen to her. Okay. Later on, I got to know that उसके जो पेरेंट्स हैं, they fight. Okay. तो क्या हो रहा था, वो वॉशरूम में जाके करती थी, लेकिन उस इन दिनों उसके घर पे लाइट नहीं आ रही थी, तो वो वॉशरूम में वो भी नहीं कर पा रही थी, वो होमवर्क जो लिखती थी. तो मुझे रियलाइज हुआ यार हम कितना नैरो रखते हैं अपने पर्सपेक्टिव को. मैंने उसको सुना, मतलब मैंने उसको हेयर किया, आई डिडंट लिसन प्रॉपर्ली. अगर मैं उस समय उसको ध्यान से सुनता तो मैं उसको ऐसे डांटता नहीं. तो दैट डे वे माय पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज कि मेरे को इमोशनल भी उनकी तरफ होना है.
We are also
Yes.
human.
What is going behind them, right?
And you know what is the best part? The first is of course acknowledging the fact that I also made a mistake,
Yes.
and I will rectify it and I will not do it
Definitely.
again. Most of the teachers, I know, again might hurt some people. I feel like they're very
We are hurting a lot
that
of people.
we don't want to be labeled as, I know it all. I cannot make mistakes because I'm the teacher. I know it all.
You are content
know?
expert.
It's a part of the teacher's circle that they would just be like very rigid about the fact that you know it all. So I remember when I was teaching, and if there was a question which is like out of the blue, and I'm not prepared for it, I knew how to say that it's okay. I don't know the answer to this right now, but I will check and get back to you. There is no harm in admitting you are not ChatGPT, you are not Google, you are not AI powered, that you will have answers to everything,
True.
So I think as a teacher, back then it was trained that you know it all. And so if they didn't know it, they made the child look bad for asking a question like that.
This happens nowadays.
Now, if a teacher doesn't know, she is free to say that, okay, I don't know this, but I'll get back to you with this. So I think we've, again, very, very lovely.
This humanize you, right? This only human.
Absolutely. You're only human, and how much can you know?
Yes.
Right? And children are very smart.
They are.
This whole, we are teaching, we're going to be teaching, we'll start teaching the alpha generation very soon. And they are something else. I tell you. Teachers build future doctors, engineers, and leaders. Yet the society is uncomfortable with teachers being financially abundant. Why do you think this mindset exists, and how does it impact the profession?
See, our Indian society, अभी भी हम प्राचीन जमाने में जी रहे हैं कि हमारे जो गुरु हैं वो सर्विस कर रहे हैं हमारे लिए. हमें ये नहीं रियलाइज हो रहा कि we are in the like this century now, right? We are in Kalyug, right? Teaching is a job, it's a profession, it's not a service anymore. We also have families. We also have bills to pay. We also have health to take care of so that we can take care of the children, right? When this point is, that's why it hurts me a lot that we are not counted, that we are teaching children who are becoming richer than us, and we are proud of it. We are proud of it. Whenever I go around, and sometimes I find some person who I have taught, and he does me a favor also for it. Like, okay, sir, you have taught me, remember SSA, right? And he is earning more than me. Just like a child, if a child earns more than you, if your own child, he will be proud. I am prouder. But society can never be proud if the teachers are earning more, right? Because we are taking it as a service, not as a profession. And a civilization which doesn't satisfy a teacher financially, its foundation will always be weak. Okay, the country will not go up. You are raising a weak foundation for your country, because if a teacher is not happy financially, he or she cannot give full in the classroom. We leave about the pay. We talk about they are giving their own money in the classroom essentials. Teachers अपने पैसों से, मैंने खुद भी करा है, अपने पैसों से चार्ट्स लगा रहे होते हैं बोर्ड्स पे, अपने पैसों से रजिस्टर्स पेन ला रहे होते हैं. एक बच्चा जो एक यूनिफॉर्म, एक जो शूज टीचर की सैलरी से ज्यादा महंगे खरीद सकता है, वो एक पेन नहीं ला सकता है क्या, राइट? लेकिन फिर भी हम अपने पैसे से देते हैं उनके लिए, राइट? So this is the thing.
That's the kind of love that you have for your profession. When you step into the classroom, you forget how you're being treated. You just that
For the kids.
Giving your 100%. But when you go back home, and if you're not happy with what you're making and how you're being treated in the institution, how much love and respect you are getting, it just makes you unhappy. And then,
it's just the kids' love that is keeping me in this profession. If I have to say, it's just the students' love. Otherwise, way back, I would have left it. Because I have seen teachers earning only 15K and going from one side of the state to the other side. True. Can you imagine within 15K only? True. And then they have been burnouts. We in Indian society, we take burnouts as a pride. There's no balance between work and life, like abroad, right? This is the reason I think.
Burnout, we're both into fitness, by the way. Both into fitness. Yes. He's one fit teacher. And, for your own physical health also, being in a constant burnout state because, of course, you're not being treated well, you're not being paid well, you're just doing your job for the sake of doing it, it affects your physical health as well. And very few teachers, of course, we'll come down to that as well, are, that's exactly a second next question.
Let's do it.
You prioritize fitness and self-discipline. As a teacher, do you feel your lifestyle, how you eat, move, and show up, educates children even without saying a single word? And I I personally also feel the same thing that, as a parent, when I'm into fitness, I'm, me and my husband, we're both like, fitness is priority for us. Taking care of our health, priority. Eating right, priority. Now, I personally feel as a psychologist also, as an educationist also, as a parent also, that every time you cannot teach the child, you cannot keep forcing the child, ye karo, ye aapke liye theek hai, you have to do this, you have to do this, when you are not doing it yourself. As teachers, when we are teaching, when you're endorsing a particular view, we are not doing it ourselves, and how can you teach? And I feel like when you're doing it yourself, the child learns better than when you are saying something or teaching something. So, आप अपने अच्छे से अपनी, I'm sure your kids watch, all the children watch you and they know sir is into fitness. आपको लगता है कि उनका mild influence होता है और वो naturally, without saying, naturally they would want to take up to fitness because they idolize you as their fit maths teacher.
Yes. There have been instances where children, on the sake of asking doubt, they come to me and ask, sir, how did you get this jawline? सर ये बाल ऐसे कैसे होते सर मेरे white hair अभी से हो रहे हैं. They're so stressed about it and they don't know there is a very simple mantra along with the fitness, lack of sleep. They're not getting enough sleep. Even if they work out at home and they are not getting results, you need to sleep better. You're sleeping at 1 o'clock and then you're coming at 7 o'clock. Obviously, when you're not recovering, how will you make growth, right? And I have seen this thing that children without a word. There is an example like. Last year I was a class teacher of 10th or 9th, if I remember. So in that, what I used to do, I used to eat an apple every day. So that is my breakfast, apple or banana most of the time. So I used to eat an apple, So we get this indoor lunch break duties, okay, sometimes when there is raining or something. So I saw that almost like 50% of students had apples in their tiffins. I was okay. उनको लगता है कि एप्पल से मैं इतना स्ट्रांग हो रहा हूँ. That without saying a word, that how important it is what you're doing in classroom, right? And मेरे को लगता है कि आप तुरंत जाके क्लास में पढ़ाओ मत यार. वो जब से बैठे हुए हैं, they are also humans. उनकी एनर्जी stagnant हो गई है. Make them stand. Let them. You also do with them. Move around. Okay, let the energy come out. Let it vent out, right? Otherwise वो in display नहीं करेंगे. वो कहीं और vent out करेंगे. Movement is important. You also move around the classroom. Own the class like you're teaching, right? That's why fitness is important. And teachers, you don't know maybe that sometimes these higher authority people remove the chairs for the exam rooms. ये teacher बैठेगा नहीं. Teachers 4-4 घंटे 5-5 घंटे classroom में खड़े रहते हैं.
उसके लिए physical strength तो चाहिए.
Exactly. They need leg strength. इतने सारे teachers, मैं एक बार physio पे गया था. I remember for my own neck. He told me 70% टीचर्स को सर्वाइकल है. मेरे पास जो आते हैं वो 70% टीचर्स ही उनको सर्वाइकल है. क्योंकि वो स्कूल में तो करते ही हैं, घर पे भी कॉपी चेकिंग कर रहे होते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई फिटनेस इज रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग फॉर टीचर्स आल्सो, राइट? क्योंकि अगर आप फिट होंगे तो स्टूडेंट्स इंस्पायर होकर वो भी फिट होंगे. और ये एक जो सबसे बड़ा कल्प्रिट है, शुगर. मैं पेरेंट्स को बोलना चाहूंगा, प्लीज आप सुबह सुबह उनको बॉर्नवीटा या फिर कुछ भी शुगर वाला ना दें. क्योंकि जैसे आप उनको देते हैं वो उनका स्पाइक कर देता है ब्लड और वो सारी एजिटेशन फ्रस्ट्रेशन क्लासरूम में निकालते हैं. Give them something healthy, a chila maybe or something like that. Even I bring sometimes, right? Or these are the things that need to be taken care of. Otherwise, in the future, like the lifespan will not be 70, it will be 40 or 50 only. Okay.
True. Absolutely. And when you're talking about the fact that how you do something and the children just learn.
Yes.
So I, being a psychologist, I did a small experiment with my daughter. I used to give a bath and then she had those toys. So every day, she was just 1.5 years old. Every day I would pick up the toys and put it in the basket and then leave. So every day I just wanted to see how long will it take for her to imitate the thing that I was doing and do the same thing. She's just 1.5 years old. And about in 3 months' time, one day I just picked up, I gave a bag and I went out to get a towel and she picked up everything and she put it in the basket without me ever checking.
Children catch things like
And
this.
I was amazed. I'm like, सिर्फ ये चीजें पढ़ने की नहीं होती. As a parent or as a teacher, you can actually experiment. That classroom, those children are there for you to see what works best for them. So yeah, which brings us again to the next question. And I'm so glad you're going ahead of what we want to talk. So children imitate what they see more than what they are told. How important do you think it is for teachers to lead by example in mindset, health, and daily habits?
देखो मैं तो टीचर हूँ तो आई लव टू शेयर स्टोरीज, तो मेरे पास स्टोरीज ही हैं जिसके थ्रू आई विल एक्सप्लेन. तो एक बार ऐसा हुआ था दैट आई वाज इन क्लास 8th. सो मेरे को हैबिट है, अगर कोई भी बंदा इवन ऑक्सिलरी स्टाफ जो कुक करते हैं या क्लीन करते हैं वो भी आते हैं तो मैं खड़ा हो जाता हूँ और मैं ग्रीट करता हूँ. फिर भी मैं बिकॉज ऑफ माई मॉम दिस इज अ हैबिट इन मी एंड आई एम वेरी ग्रेटफुल फॉर इट. सो जब भी कोई ऑक्सिलरी स्टाफ आता था अंदर क्लास के सामने तो मैं खड़ा होकर ऐसे कहता था गुड मॉर्निंग दी. ओके वो क्लीन करते थे चले जाते थे. तो बहुत बार मैंने किया. एक बार क्या हुआ जब मैं क्लास में गया that Dee came and everyone wished her like a teacher. Good morning Dee. Okay, imitation by फर्क पड़ता है कि they have gotten my quality also. So that day I was so happy कि पता है तुम्हें मेरी क्लास में क्या हुआ आज. और that Dee came to me 2 days after a day she was absent. उसके अगले दिन आई थी. सर थैंक यू सर. वो उस दिन मैं अपनी बेटी को भी बताया कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. पहली बार शी गॉट सच अ ह्यूज रिस्पेक्ट. और उसका खुद का बच्चा भी स्कूल में पढ़ता है, ठीक है, वो कभी खड़ा नहीं होता उस समय बिकॉज ऑफ फियर कि बाकी बच्चे नहीं करते, तो वो भी खड़े होने लगे. मतलब दिस बिकेम अ रूल इन आवर स्कूल नाउ कि जब भी कोई ऑक्सिलरी स्टाफ आए तो हम खड़ा होना चाहिए, राइट. सो अगर आपके स्कूल में भी ऐसे कोई गार्ड हैं या फिर कोई हैं, आप थोड़ा सा काइंड वर्ड्स भी उनको बोलेंगे तो बच्चे अगर सराउंडिंग बिल्कुल बोलो, दे विल कैच ऑन क्विक एंड दे विल बी अ गुड पार्ट ऑफ आवर कंट्री. सो इमिटेशन डज वर्क. टीचर्स शुड लीड बाय एग्जाम्पल. अगर हम ऐसी चीजें करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है, आई एम नॉट बोस्टिंग अबाउट माई सेल्फ, बट एट द सेम टाइम मुझे लगता है कि अगर हमें छोटी छोटी चीजों का ध्यान रखना, इट विल पाइल अप इनटू सच अ ग्रेट थिंग, राइट.
You know, I think every child, when they pass out and they go out in the society to live, they carry a little bit of the teacher,
Part of us.
part of them with them for their lifetime. So, like I had this teacher of mine who was, like I told you, my maths teacher. I take the drama. I also take this teacher of mine. She taught me home science. She, whatever I am today, sometimes I look back and I see all the creativity, the food stories that people like about me, the way I present my food. It's all come from her. And I go back and think of her like, you know, I am who she made me. And I carry a part of my teacher till date. So I think how we behave, how we reflect in the society as a teacher, we are also giving a part of ourselves to those children to live.
We are immortals in such a way.
True.
Teachers are immortals. They can be immortals if they want to be with such behavior.
Absolutely. It's true. I agree. Okay. Let's wrap it up with
Yes.
this one. If parents and educators could take away just one thing about raising confident, resilient children, what should that be?
First of all, for the parents, I will say about this. We were having a talk that why girls lack math skills, and
Oh, yeah.
because most of the time I've seen in Indian homes what is going on, that whenever there are kids, a boy and a girl, we are giving dolls. That's okay. You give the dolls, but you also give Rubik cubes, something tangible that makes something relative to the maths, right? Not only to the boy. Okay. आप दोनों को दोनों दो, क्यों नहीं, राइट. जब आप उसको टेंजिबल चीजें दोगे ना तो सेंस बनाने लगेगी बच्ची. जैसे रूबिक क्यूब से, अच्छा इसमें इतने सारे स्क्वायर्स हैं, ऐसे हैं, रॉड्स होते हैं, छोटे छोटे टाइल्स होते हैं अलजेब्रा के, उससे खेलने दो उसको. आप खुद आओ, एक नया पजल उसके साथ सॉल्व करो, राइट. तो पेरेंट्स को क्या नहीं करना चाहिए? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू नीड टू मेक श्योर यू डोंट से सच थिंग्स कि बेटा मैं भी वीक था मैथ्स में, मेरे से तो होगा ही नहीं बेटा, तो जाके स्कूल में ही पूछ, ठीक है. जैसे आपने ये बोला तो we are done for it.
Is it okay to say Papa was very good in maths?
You can say Papa was, but Papa may have forgotten, right? So Papa also need to reconcile whatever was taught. So Papa को भी फिर बोलना पड़ेगा, चल मेरे को याद नहीं है, चल तेरे साथ करता हूँ, right? So make them realize that mistakes are okay, ठीक है. But very important point I'm going to say for all the parents, nowadays generation doesn't know that there are consequences to their actions, even in schools, because we cannot punish them.
Right.
We cannot touch them even. Parents need to teach that at home, that there are consequences to their actions.
Right.
And if you take it on your ego or something, you will never grow in life. Without getting offended, you need to take sometimes criticism also. Right. This generation is lacking that. We can see in the classrooms because we cannot punish them. All right. Teachers are bound. Their hands are tied. They just leave it. Okay. फिर मैं नहीं करता हूँ.
As teachers, what we can do best in probably teaching our children how to take criticism is by
Yes.
taking criticism ourselves in the class
Yes.
and letting the children know that I am open. If you want to discuss something with me, or if you want to tell me that, you know, the way you said this to me, I didn't like it, or ma'am, the way you do this, I don't like it. तो अगर मैं अच्छी टीचर हूँ, I'll be like, okay, I'm so sorry, I've offended you, and I'm gonna do better next time. You know.
But these parents, instead, what they are doing is they are telling the kids, I have my own experience that teacher कुछ नहीं कर सकता है, ठीक है? अगर तेरे कुछ बोलता है तो उल्टा जवाब दे, okay? Maybe because it's something teacher may have done, but you need to realize कोई teacher का भी teaching पहली बार है. You are a parent, you are also doing parenting for the first time.
Yes.
You are also figuring it out. That teacher is also figuring it out. He's also human.
True.
If he has made a mistake, to talk to him. But if you are mediating through the kid,
Yes.
he's gonna realize, okay, I don't have to respect this guy just because he's transferring knowledge, right? If transferring the knowledge is only the job of the teacher, Google would have replaced us long ago.
Absolutely.
But it's not about transforming knowledge. It's about transferring values. It's about teaching them how to regulate emotions. So at the end, I would like to say that education, again, like that point, is a tri-side. अगर एक भी डायर पीछे हटा, स्टूडेंट का खुद का वैल्यूज, टीचर का सपोर्ट और पेरेंट का सपोर्ट, वो साइकिल आनी नहीं चलेगी, वो टर्बो आई.
Thank you so much, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming out today and doing this with us. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
If this conversation made you rethink the way you look at maths, share this with a parent, a student, or a teacher, because sometimes it's not the subject that needs to change, it's the way it is taught. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next episode of Goenka Alpha Edge, an educational podcast by GD Goenka Mohali.